Chapter 4 Brotherly Love. It was late afternoon when Addy and Sarah finally got back to the boarding house. As they trudged down the hall, Madeir called out, "Addy? Sarah?" "It's us," Addy answered. She tried not to sound as discouraged as she felt. "I was so worried about you," Madeir said with relief in her voice. "I was thinking of coming after you myself. What took you so long?" Addy and Sarah glanced at each other. The druggist in the neighborhood didn't have the medicine, so we had to go to another store, Addy explained. Her voice was trembling a little. She was telling the truth, at least part of it. When Addy handed Madeir the medicine, Madeir reached for Addy's hands and held it in her own. Madeir's eyes looked right into Addy's. "There's something else," Madeir said gently. "I can tell by your voice. Hi, welcome." Reluctantly, Addy told Madeir what happened. She got to the part about being forced off the streetcar. "We was just minding our own business, and the conductor threw all of us colored people off," Addy said. "That ain't right." "Thank you for the likes." "No, it's not right," Madeir said. "I don't understand," Sarah piped up. "I thought colored people in the North supposed to be free. But we're in the North, and we ain't free." "Thank you so much for your likes. I really appreciate it." Madeir was quiet for a moment. And then she answered, "You're right, Sarah. We still have to fight for our freedom here in the North. That's because some people are prejudiced. Prejudice blinds people. It doesn't allow them to see people for who they really are." "Hi, welcome." "That conductor who mistreated you girls is blind. Blinder than me." "I don't see why Philadelphia is called the city of brotherly love," Addy said. "The druggist across town didn't want to wait on us because we colored. We can't ride inside the streetcars because we colored. We can't go into Natkin's confectionery to get ice cream because we colored. My papa can't even get a job as a carpenter because he colored. There ain't any brotherly love in this city, and it ain't ever gonna change." "Why do you feel things won't ever change?" Madeir asked. "Because we can't change the color of our skin," Addy answered. "Well, you're right about that," Madeir agreed. "We can't change the color of our skin. But don't let prejudice make you its prisoner. Remember Sonny? His spirit goes beyond his cage with every note he sings." Gently, Madeir put her hand on Addy's cheek. "You have to keep right on living, right on singing your song." After Sarah had gone home, Papa stopped by the boarding house to take Addy with him on his last deliveries. As they rolled along on the slow-moving wagon, Addy told him about playing double dutch with Sarah, but not about the trip to the druggist and the trouble on the streetcar. Papa had a solemn look on his face, and Addy didn't think he needed to hear any bad news. Thank you so much for all of your likes. I really appreciate that. "I looked for a job today on my meal break," Papa said. "I heard they was hiring carpenters for a warehouse up over near the docks. When I went there, it was the same old story. The foreman told me he didn't hire colored folks." "Well, that man was blind," Addy said to Papa. "He couldn't see for who you is. One of the best carpenters in all of Philadelphia." Papa put an arm around Addy's shoulders and smiled. "Well, listen to you. Don't you sound like a wise old lady?" "Somebody's going to hire you for your carpenter work someday," Addy said. "I just know they will. I hope you're right, Addy, said Papa. On Papa's last stop, Addy waited in the wagon while Papa hauled the heavy blocks of ice inside. She heard a bird start singing. It reminded her of Sunny, and Addy turned to see where the bird was. She didn't see it, but when she turned, she saw a sign posted on a building next to the one Papa had gone into. The sign read, "Carpenters Wanted. Apply within." Addy jumped down from the wagon just as Papa came out of the building. Addy rushed to him and told him about the sign. "You should go in and see what they have to say," Addy said. Papa walked up to the building and knocked firmly on the door. Addy stood right beside him. A white man with a beard answered the door. His beard was filled with sawdust. "My name is Ben Walker, and I come to see about the carpenter job," Papa said in a strong, sure voice. "I'm Miles Roberts." "Have you done carpentry before?" the man asked. "I sure have, Mr. Roberts," Papa said. "I'll tell you right now that I can't read or write yet, but I know how to work wood. I can do everything from build a stairway or a fence to lay a floor or frame a window. I've got plenty of knowledge right up here." Hey, thank you. No, I really appreciate all your likes. Well, yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Papa tapped his finger to his head, and I got a strong pair of hands. All I'm asking for is a chance. "Do you have your own tools?" Mr. Roberts asked. Papa answered, "I got a few. A hammer, a saw, and a plane." Mr. Roberts rubbed his beard. "I'll tell you what," he said. "Come back here on Monday morning at 6 o'clock sharp, and I'll put you to work." "Yes, sir," Papa said heartily. "I'll be here." Mr. Roberts shook Papa's hand and shut the door. Papa swept Addy up in his arms and spun her around. When he put her down, Addy said, "I told you that somebody was going to see you for who you really is." She and Papa climbed back into the wagon. Papa grinned. "Your mama is going to be so happy." "Oh, that's fine. Thank you so much." And I post when I'm live, so if you aren't, just give me a follow. And I'll be posting the story on my page anyway, so you can hear the rest of it. Have a good night. When he put her down, Addy said, "I told you that somebody was going to see for who you really is." She and Papa climbed back into the wagon. Papa grinned. "Your mama is going to be so happy," he said. As they headed down the street atop the wagon, the sun was setting. Papa began to whistle a song Addy had never heard before. It was a song full of hope. Chapter 5. Changes in the Wind. Addy was happy when she woke up on Sunday morning. Mama and Papa, hi, welcome. When Mama and Papa wouldn't have to work. It was a sunny spring day, and Papa would start his carpenter job tomorrow. After breakfast, Addy and her parents went to church. Reverend Drake preached about being ready because a change was coming. He said the war would be over any day now, and when it was, a change would come sweeping through the country like the gusty winds of spring. After church, Addy and Mama and Papa went back to the boarding house to eat dinner. Then they went to Washington Square Park. Addy brought the jump rope Sarah had given her, and Mama and Papa turned it while she showed them how she could jump double dutch. "How in the world did you learn to jump rope so good?" Papa asked with pride. Addy kept jumping as she answered, "Sarah and Madeir taught me." "Madeir taught you?" Mama asked. "She blind." She's blind, but she has a way of seeing things real clear, Addy said. She's been teaching me how to see with my ears and sing with my heart. Has she helped you pick your birthday, Papa asked. Not yet, answered Addy. I'm waiting for an almost perfect day. I think it's coming soon. Well, I better hurry, said Mama. I'm getting real hungry for ice cream. That night, Addy was awakened suddenly by a noise out in the street. Papa had already jumped up from the bed and was looking out the window. What's all that fuss out there? Mama asked sleepily as 3 big booms rattled the panes of the window. That's cannon fire, Papa said. It's got to be coming from the harbor. Suddenly, there were more booms, and then popping noises that sounded like shots crackling through the air. Maybe the war's come to Philadelphia, said Mama with alarm. Papa started to answer, but the sound of people cheering, whistles blowing, and church bells ringing drowned out his words. Addy jumped out of bed and joined Papa at the window. Down below, the street was beginning to fill with people. Mama, get up, Addy urged as she turned from the window to look at Mama. I think the war is over. I think Addy's right, Ruth, Papa said. Mama was crying, and so was Papa. Addy was so happy that she thought she was going to cry too. This means we're going to get a chance to see Esther and Sam again. Mama said, This is the day we've all been waiting for. Come on, let's get dressed and go on out, Papa said. They all dressed quickly. As they rushed downstairs, they met some of the other boarders, half-dressed and talking excitedly. Addy, Papa, and my mom went outside. Someone in the crowded street yelled, General Lee has surrendered. Another cried, The war is over. The North has won. Papa took Addy's hand and led her and Mama into the street. Hundreds of people, young and old, black and white, filled the streets and sidewalks. They were crying and hugging, laughing and cheering. Some were still in their night clothes. They were beating pie tins and pots and pans. One man beat a drum and another played a fiddle. Firecrackers popped all around them. Buildings were draped in flags and red, white, and blue bunting. This is just like a dream, Addy thought. She looked up at the huge banners being held on the sticks, high above the crowd. Addy began reading them aloud. Lincoln and Liberty. One people, one country. America, North and South, united again. This was the day she had been waiting for. It was not perfect. If it were, her brother and sister would be right there with her, but this is the best day she could imagine without them. She turned to Mama and Papa. I want today to be my birthday, Addy said. You picked one fine day for it, Papa replied. We should go on back home and have a party. The freezer I fixed is just waiting to make ice cream. As they made their way back home, Addy spotted Sarah and her parents in the crowd. Addy rushed up to her friend and threw her arms around her. I can't believe it, Sarah cried. The war really over. At last, Addy said. And guess what? I'm having my birthday right now, and a party, and you and your mama and papa got to come. You sure picked a good birthday, Sarah laughed. The 9th of April is a day nobody will ever forget. When Addy and Sarah and their parents arrived at the boarding house, every room was lit up. They went inside to find Mr. and Mrs. Golden, my dear, and the boarders talking in the dining room. Papa hopped up on a chair and made an announcement. Today is my daughter's 10th birthday, and you all invited to a party right here in this dining room. I'm going to make a freezer full of ice cream. As Mama and Mrs. Golden set up for the party, Addy and Sarah went outside to jump rope. Some people who were coming back from the celebration joined in their game, jumping in and missing, and then trying again. Two strangers offered to turn the ropes for the girls so that Addy and Sarah could jump together. Other people stood by, clapping to the rhythm of their jumping. It wasn't long before Mama came out to tell Addy and Sarah that the ice cream was ready and the party would be starting. The girls went inside. When Addy entered the dining room, she gasped, "Oh, Mama, it's so beautiful." Mrs. Golden and Mama had set the tables with pretty bowls and lavender glasses. There were shiny copper pitchers, a ginger pop. Papa carried in the ice cream freezer. He removed the paddle from the inside and began dishing out scoops of ice cream. Mrs. Golden brought in 2 cherry pies from the pie safe. "I was saving these for tomorrow," said Mrs. Golden, "but tonight is a celebration for Addy and for all of us." Mama led Addy to a table where Madeira was sitting. "You sure did pick a special day for your birthday," said Madeira, handing Addy something wrapped in tissue paper. "This is from Sunny and me." Addy opened the gift to find 2 of Sunny's bright yellow feathers tied with a bow. Addy held them gently, a bit of bright sunshine in the palm of her hand. "Thank you," Addy said. She pinned the feathers in her hair and kissed Madeira. "Let these remind you to always let your spirit sing out," said Madeira. "I will," promised Addy. "I will." It's right here, the picture of Addy celebrating her birthday. So that's Addy over there.